Yo, what's up? What's good? What's happening? And welcome to the first of many drawing videos I'll be making. My name is Kyrie artist on Instagram, and today we getting into drawing DC comics.
Oh my god. What kind of shit is that?
So that's how we kicking it off, huh? This piece was fun as it was obnoxious, especially using myself as a reference for the pose and slapping everything on top of that. It was pretty challenging. I wasn't sure if I wanted to capture the likeness of the CW actor for the character, so I just kind of winged it, and well, we got this. So moving forward with that, we're coming in here with Micron Pens. I really love these pens, especially the variety I can use to illustrate different line weights, and what I'm using for the facial features and the overall outline of the art, I'm using 03s, and then I'm coming back in with an 05. The 03 is really cool, so I could just sketch, with very thin lines and see what lines I want, what lines I don't need, stuff like that. Just figure things out, and I usually use that for the facial features. And I come back with the 05, and I use the thick lines of the 05 to bring out some of those protruding features, especially in the goggles and the chest piece and stuff like that, and indicate shadows. So those thick lines really help, illustrate and push forward different features and stuff like that. Alright, so now that the line art is complete and finished, we're going to move on to the Copic Markers in color. I really love Copic Markers. Those are my go-tos, my bread and butters. And for laying down the skin tones, we're going to be using E13 Light Suntan, E15 Dark Suntan, E57 Light Walnut, and E18 Copper. How I'm approaching this is I'm using my lightest tone first, my mid-tone, and then my heavy tone, and then going back over with the light tone to give like this really nice, beautiful gradient transition, this smooth overlay of color. So I'm also using tea rose and I think a blush for the lips. Since I don't have any reddish brown colors, I'm just throwing in some pinks in there to make those lips a little bit more, the color of lips instead of just a brown. I forgot to turn my camera back on. So it is what it is, so we'll just move forward from there. We're using neutral colors. I have this big neutral gray collection, so for the suit I'm using colors N3 through N9, so I have a range of different grays I can use. This design is just like, there's so many grays, even in his lenses, but I'm switching up the lenses to his comic book design and adding in the yellow, to break up a lot of, grays that's happening. But fan art is kind of like, you sometimes, you get stressed out by, you have to keep it true to the design, or you have to make it, an exact copy of that character. Like sometimes it's alright to switch it up, what I'm saying? Like add things that you want to see, mix and match different, especially costume design, mix and match different costume designs, and just have fun with it, and do you. Alright, so now we're moving on to the blues. I'm using a B12, B14, B18, and a B24, my brightest blues pretty much. And I want this to be a colorful comic booky blue instead of a dark navy blue that they kind of got going on from the show. And I'm also mixing in some grays in there to give me like a nice from dark to light transition as you go up. And then I'm also using some grays for the folds. And when I get to the chest plate, using my blues, making a nice gradient transition from blue to yellow, and then I'm gonna edit it in Photoshop, and I'm just gonna make things pop from there. Alright, so next we're adding some special effects. I guess you call it special effects or whatever. Special effects to the composition. And I wanted to do like a lightning bolt kind of design when I, had the idea for creating this composition. And I don't really get to do that as much with my other pieces. Usually they just stand there looking dope, but for this one I'm like, let me just add a lightning strike and special effects to the piece. And you can see when I outline the hand, it's like being submerged by this lightning strike, being submerged by this power. And some of the information really gets lost, and I just end up messing. I screw up. I mess up a lot on this, and me not knowing how to draw hands, it's something to be desired, definitely. Okay, so I'm doing another round, doing another lap of blue, except this is going to be lighter, and I'm just going to add a little bit more weight, a little bit more depth to the lightning strike. Instead of just that fierce blue into the white, I want to make a nice, smooth transition, or a transition from the darkest blue into the white. For his lenses, I'm using a Y00, Y13, and Y18. And I really like this approach with it. It just gives the piece a little bit of a break from all the grades. So after that, I'm going in with a white Jelly Roll pen, and I'm using that to bring out some of those protruding features in the goggles, like the edges and stuff like that. And I'm also highlighting the lenses as well to to capture that light. And for the last part, what we're doing is creating a watercolor background. And I really like watercolors. I think they're freaking amazing. And right now we're just getting the paper nice and wet, so that way when we come in with our other color, it'll just kind of run. The colors will just kind of like run throughout the page. And then I want to create kind of like a cloudy effect. So I figured that was the best way to do it. So. Watercolor, I really like them, especially when you want something soft or you just want a presence on your background. I think watercolors do just the perfect job. They're the perfect job for that. You can definitely see that in Walking Dead comics. When you read the comics, they use watercolors for their backgrounds. Even in the 300 comics, they use watercolor backgrounds, and I see why. It's just a beautiful like presence on the page, and I want to play more watercolors. I think they're awesome. And that's it, we done. I definitely had a lot of fun with this piece. I mean, like, granted, I was fighting it for a while, this took me a couple days. I was just with the face and with the anatomy and the hands and stuff like that. I still got to study, I still got to do my training and stuff like that. But I really did enjoy making this piece, especially seeing it all come together. It's not as bad as I thought. So definitely thank you all for watching. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter for more of my works and to see the updated version of this piece. Alright, this is it. I'll see y'all at the next video, and deuces.
He was black, he said, this is for the hood, Black Lightning's back. We pray at night for the helpless, hoping you get us through breakfast, wishing somebody come say